Honorable Rector, distinguished Council of Deans, board members of this wonderful university, my university. Your Worship the Mayor, Your Excellencies, the bishops from the Roman Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and someone from home. All of you wonderful, wonderful, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the student members of our university. It's a very, very great privilege, great joy to be standing in this magnificent building to receive the highest honor that a university can bestow. And so, dank u wel. Thank you very, very much for this very great honor. And I want to acknowledge as well the superb musicians behind me, the choirs, and all of you. You are just fantastic. I think we should slap you. I'm going to tell Peter Klastau that unbeknown to me, when I was being honored, his music was played here. It is a very great honor, and I always say on these occasions that I receive this highest honor of our university in a representative capacity. I receive it on behalf of the very, very many whom you would have wanted to honor, who were the ones who overcame apartheid so magnificently. And you were very kind in speaking so glowingly of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It's not because I am modest that I have to tell you that actually, even before the commission was established, there were other people who had done extraordinary work, especially with regard to transitional justice. What I can boast about only is that I was a very good captain of an outstanding team. And they are the people you really want to be honoring on this occasion. And on their behalf, I stand here and accept your plaudits. After all, what is a leader without followers? Imagine if the people that were gracious to accept my leadership had repudiated me. Where would Desmond Tutu have been without them? It isn't, now don't go away and say, oh, he's so modest, he's so... Because I'm nothing modest. Some of you probably know the story, but my wife and I, on one occasion, went to West Point Military Academy. And at the end of the visit, the cadets presented me with a cap to commemorate the visit. And I tried the cap on, and it didn't fit me. Now, my wife, a nice wife would have said, the cap is too small. My wife said, his head is too big. But I do want, on behalf of all of those people, extraordinary people, to accept this very, very great honor. And perhaps just to say one or two things, I have repeated them. During the 3 years we sat as the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, we listened to some harrowing stories. Our capacity to be inhumane, especially we had 3 committees, Human Rights Committee, Amnesty Committee, and the Reparations and Rehabilitation Committee. When people were having to apply for amnesty, you had to make a full disclosure. And it was quite devastating listening to some of the things of which we are capable. Someone saying, we gave him drugged coffee. I shot him in the head. And then we burnt his body. And because it takes perhaps 8, 9, 10 hours for a human body to burn, we had a barbecue on the side. We drank beer, and you could think 2 kinds of flesh burning, human flesh here and cow flesh here, and you said incredible depths of depravity to which we seemed to be able to sink. And of course, you know, friends, one of the things that we took away with us was remembering, there, but for the grace of God, go I. That I couldn't be dismissive of someone who could behave so abominably. For how do I know that had I been subjected to the same circumstances, the same conditions as this person, how do I know that I would not myself have behaved as he has behaved? And so one almost always had to keep remembering, yes, there, but for the grace of God, go I. That we, all of us in our country, were deeply wounded people. And that really, when we were healing, it was only because we were ourselves wounded healers. And you know, I thought that at the end of this process, I would have been so devastated by the accounts that I had heard of our human capacity to be so cruel. And I was surprised that that was not, as it were, the last thing about the TRC that one carried. It was those incredible moments when you listened to someone who had been subjected to unbelievable suffering, and you expected that that person would be consumed by bitterness and anger and a desire for revenge. How so many times one was amazed at the incredible magnanimity of people. All of us again having this extraordinary capacity to be caring, to be compassionate, to be forgiving. A mother who had seen her son killed in a police setup, and had seen her son, she said, on television on that particular day, and saw her son's carcass being pulled by a rope as if he were just an animal. And she came to the TRC and told her story. In fact, at one point, they showed a video of that particular incident, and she was present, and she took off her shoe and threw it at the police. That particular session had to be suspended for a little while. And when we said to her, but you were warned, I mean, that you shouldn't come if you couldn't take what you saw. And she said, oh no, I'm feeling okay. And she could then return to a resumed session of the Amnesty Committee and be able to say to people who had done this to her son, yes, I forgive you. I don't even want you to go to jail. I don't want you to go to jail. It won't bring my son back. And it was just incredible experiencing the nobility of spirit that people had. And so yes, we have the capacity to sink to the very depths of depravity But you know what? We also have this remarkable capacity to be noble. Do you remember the story of the farmer who, in his backyard, had a few chickens? And then there was, a strange looking chicken. It behaved a little like the other chickens, but it wasn't, no. It's not quite like these other chickens. But no one seemed to know about this until a visitor came along and went past, and he said, "Oh, no, man. That's not a chicken. That's an eagle." An eagle? Yes, an eagle. And he said, "Just give it to me." And they gave him this eagle. And he woke up very early in the morning and went right up to the top of the mountain. And then he said, "Fly, eagle, fly." And this strange looking bird shook itself, spread out its pinions, and then lifted off. And it soared and flew towards the sun. You know what? God says to us, "Hey, you're not a chicken, man. You're an eagle. Fly, eagle, fly." And God says to each one of us, "Fly, eagle, fly." And God expects us, yes, to shake off ourselves, to spread out our pinions, and to lift off. So we fly towards goodness, towards compassion, towards generosity, towards caring, towards loving, towards the sun. Fly, eagle, fly. Thank you.